Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you just how correct I was on the election. So, I'll pull up my final prediction right here. So, I had a couple of the swing states right, couple of the margins wrong too, so I'm going to be getting into all that. So, starting with the swing states, I got a majority of them correct. I had Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania going to the right person, but I also had the incorrect margin, if I'm correct, because it looks like all of them went to Donald Trump by a leaning margin, I think. Let's see. North Carolina was a lot. Yeah, Georgia was more than a tilting margin. Same thing with Arizona. Big time, actually, and Nevada, too. So, yeah, that's sort of the thing I got wrong. Really, I should have put all of them leaning to Donald Trump. And Wisconsin and Michigan, you could see up there, I had them going to Kamala Harris, which I was actually a little bit wrong on, too. As we can see, Donald Trump also took those states by about the same, about the same amount. So I really should have filled all the swing states out as leaning for Donald Trump. One interesting thing was New Jersey. I thought I was being a little bit bold, putting it likely instead of safe for Kamala Harris, but I actually should have gone a little bit more according to the results. If we see New Jersey, yeah, it really didn't go to Kamala Harris too much. I guess it was sort of in between the lean and likely margin, but I figured it would be more in between the safe and likely margin for Kamala Harris. I think another weird thing was Texas and Florida, if I'm correct. Let's see. Yeah, in Florida, I probably could have filled that out as safe. That's a pretty big lead, Donald Trump. Texas, yeah, it's about the same thing. I honestly probably could have just filled them both out as safe, but I think likely was fair enough. Let's see. I sort of want to check out Ohio, Iowa, like South Carolina, those states that I thought were in between safe and likely, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, I could have put that, Iowa, as safe, which I did, but I was sort of on the fence on putting it on likely. Same thing with Ohio. Let's see. South Carolina, too. Yeah, all those states could have been safe, and I guess I did put them as safe, too. Let's see. Nebraska's 2nd district. Let's see there. Does it actually show you that? I don't think it does. Whatever, I'm pretty sure a lean margin was probably correct, though. So that's sort of it for... Actually, no, maybe not. Let's actually check out Colorado and New Mexico. I had Colorado going safe to Kamala Harris and New Mexico likely to Kamala Harris. Let's see. Yeah, that's sort of fair. I probably could have also put New Mexico sort of in like the likely safe area, and Colorado, I guess that's also sort of safe for Kamala Harris. So I think that's pretty good. Let's see. See, like New Hampshire. I put that as leaning to Kamala Harris. Let's see how I did it here. It actually went. Yeah, that's pretty good. Leaning to Kamala Harris. Let's see. Virginia. Virginia could have probably been likely to Kamala Harris, too. Yeah, I would say that's pretty much, pretty bigger than a lean margin. So I probably could have filled out Virginia a little bit more towards Kamala Harris. She sort of I underestimated her. Let's see. I'm going to check out Maine. That's probably about it. Yeah, I guess a lean margin sort of fair there, too. I guess likely would also work. But yeah, so I'm going to move on to the Senate now. So the only thing I really did about the Senate and the House, I just said that they would take control of the Senate, and that does seem to be the case. Well, that is the case. Republicans have a pretty big majority there. the only state that the Associated Press, which is the data I'm looking at right now, the only race in the Senate they have still not filled out is Arizona. I think Kari Lake in Arizona still had some hope. That hope sort of seems to be gone now, though. 92% of the votes are in, and she is pretty far behind Ruben Gallego, I think is pronounced. But I guess it's still possible she could have a victory. I think other websites, if I'm not mistaken, did actually already call it for the Democrats. So doesn't look too good for her there, but nonetheless, I did get it right that the Republicans would take the majority. And let's see, the House still isn't called yet, according to the AP, the Associated Press. So I really don't know. It's still sort of up in the air. Like, some of these races are close. Like, let's say Alaska, for example. There's, like, Mary Peltola, she's currently the representative for Alaska right now. Then Nick Begich or something like that. Begich? I don't really know. But he is leading her by a pretty decent percent, and 80% of the votes are in. I guess that still could change, but it does look pretty good for the Republicans in Alaska, I would say. Let's just see. This one I thought was pretty weird. In Washington, there's one representative race that's between two Republicans. I didn't even know that was happening. So I guess the Republicans are bound to take that one at least. Let's just check out. Alright, this one is actually pretty crazy. In Iowa. Just still loading. Come on. Alright, there. In Iowa, this one was crazy close. The Democrat has 49.9, and the Republican is currently leading by 50.1. And 99% of the votes are in. So I would say it's probably looking good for the Republicans in Iowa, but that's still like a razor close lead. I was going to look at one more. In Maine. That one's pretty close too. 98% of the votes are in, and the Republican has 49.7% of the votes, and the Democrat has 49.9%. So that's still like razor thin. I'm going to say Jared Golden probably does win it, but probably not by that much. So we'll I'll probably make a video updating on what happens in the House. I don't know if other websites have already called the House. I'm just gonna go according to this website though. So yeah, I'll probably just make maybe a short video just updating that when it comes in. But finally, I'm going to look at the governor races, and that's pretty obvious who's going to win those. There's really no discussion on which party would win which state in the governorship elections, but North Carolina was sort of getting debated on how much Josh Stein would win. He wound up winning by quite a bit. And I actually didn't think he was going to win by that much in North Carolina, but he did. So, pretty obvious that the, Republicans would take majority of the governor races. But yeah, I just sort of thought it's probably a good idea just to do a little check on how I did. I think I did pretty decent. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and see you next time. Adios.